Okay, great. It's recording now. Then I need to get on Drive. I have uploaded in trunk class, so it's 4 platform. Yeah. Hmm? Oh, I know why. Okay, good. In the same place where you upload your literature review, let me find student work. Student work. Yeah.
She said she's still in the hospital, so she won't be able to attend.
She is in the hospital now.
Yeah.
She said that she will join. It's okay. Fine. Yeah. Because she make the request, so I'm fine. So I will just do it, and whenever she is available, then she will join. It's okay. That's from her request. It's okay. Okay, there are some references that I will show you and discuss with you today. I just want to let you know that it's in the same file, document. I have all the PDD, PPT, or PDF files here. So if you want to take a look, I'm not sure if I can cover all, but these are related, right? The first one I want to talk about is the one that I uploaded on Facebook yesterday. And that one, I think is a clear introduction for some concept that I talked to you in the past. And the language is, I don't think it's that difficult. It's easy reading. So, but it has so many concepts there. So if you have time, you really should browse them to give you an overall ideas. All right. Because it provides some general guidelines and also important studies and methodologies. How do you do some kind of method? What are the construct that you should pay attention? So it's a very good review. In the past, I have midterm exam, but for your class, I don't have it. So I always ask students to read this article and get some comprehensive or overview of what we have learned in the past, and it provides some more in-depth analysis. And besides, for this week and next week, we're going to talk about something about learning strategy, learner strategy, and also psychology and language. And psychology and language, psycholinguistics. Psychology and language, psycholinguistics, actually they're different, but it's governed under this large umbrella psychology, right? And this one also mentioned questions, input hypothesis, etc. I won't repeat that again. I will only try to move to the part that I think deserve more discussion. It contains some new more things. All right. Because this article is theory and practice. So if you learn some theory, how can you conduct studies? In the past, they always focus on form. Form, normally, I shouldn't say opposite, but there's always a pair, form and meaning. Form and meaning. So either you focus on form, or you focus on meaning, or you focus on both. But what is form? You will hear the term like linguistic feature. What is linguistic feature? For example, like some of you want to teach rules. So you will ask students to notice the rule. You will tell the rule. It's form focus. Meaning focus means, well, I don't care whether it's accurate or not, but you can get your meaning across. And your audience, your interlocutor, do you still remember this term? Interlocutor. If your interlocutor know what you are talking about, fine. Okay, then you have achieved your goal. So they have different objectives. Focusing on form or focusing on meaning, or maybe in the middle, both. All right? In the past, they focused a lot on form. This is an old article, so you can see that it talks a lot about form. And can you get the answer? In this article, it tells you what kind of teaching method or instruction will receive the best result. It's near the place that I highlighted. So what kind of, if it's focused on form, what will be the best presentation or instruction to lead to successful learning? Please find out the answer. I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes. If you want to achieve the best result, how do you teach? How do you guide students? You can use Control F to do search. I think I actually have mentioned this similar concept in the past, but yeah. So, Cassie, what have you found it? The most useful, or you Control F useful, and then you will find out the nearby what's useful. So even though you don't have the midterm exam, I will still give you some kind of task in the future to try to organize these ideas, maybe using some crossword, or you have to make the crossword. Anyway, I have to ask you to produce something, so making sure that you incorporate those ideas. Hi, have you found it? If you haven't, raise your hand. So you all found it. If you have not found the answer, raise your hand. Yeah, Daniel probably has found it. Okay, I will continue and then we will move on to there. And when it goes to that paragraph, I will ask, maybe Daniel will tell us. All right. I want to explain this first. It says for the form-based knowledge, a lot of time, if there are research, what kind of focus or construct that you will pay attention. Planning and monitoring output, especially on more complex structure. What is planning? What is monitor? What is planning? What is monitor? Planning maybe you're not familiar with, but monitor you should be familiar with. For example, like you're given an impromptu speech, all right, topic. And in 10 minutes, you have to figure out probably the topic SDG, and then you have to give a 5 minutes talk. Then if you monitor your output, that means if I talk, then I worry about whether my grammar will be correct, whether my word choice will be wrong. That means you're turning on your monitoring skills or scheme. But turning monitoring, it's two sides of a coin. If your monitoring skill or if your monitoring scheme, you turn it on and you focus on monitoring your own speech, what do you think is the negative effect or the negatives? I have to say things accurately, right? So what will happen? If I speak or spoke incorrectly, what do you think? What's my next step? I will stop. So there will be lots of pauses. So when the monitoring is on, there will be lots of pauses. Then it won't be fluent. Maybe you can be accurate, but in the process of, especially with communication and talking, when you have lots of pauses, that means what? You're not familiar, and then you're anxious, and your monitoring is always on. Do you think it's good? Anxiety is good in some way, but if it's too much, all right, then the monitoring it will cause problem. So here is say especially more complex structure. For example, like I found out for some students, all right, let's not talk about talking. Even for the written exam, some students, they want to show that they remember some difficult words, or they want to compose difficult structures like VING or relative clause. So they try to use lots of relative clause or ING clauses. But he or she actually is not really fluent in writing. So it's going to lead to the negative effect. There will be errors in the paper. All right. So here it says especially of more complex structure, because complex structure is going to demand more of your cognitive source. And we have limited capacity. If you use all your energies in one, detecting, monitoring, then you're going to what? For the other side, other part like fluency, you're going to sacrifice it. All right. We have to admit that we are human beings. We are not divine or God. So there we have limited capacity. The second one is noticing. I need to tell you that noticing is a very, very, very important word in psycholinguistics and psychology. Noticing means attention, but how is it? I think there's kind of like synonym, all right? But in articles, they always use, they like to use this word, notice, notice. Did you notice the feature in the input? All right. In this paper, it talks a lot about output and input. And there are several words like notice, attention, awareness. What is raise awareness? What is raise awareness? What is notice? What is pay attention to? Are these three equivalent or not equivalent? When I say pay attention, when I say notice, oh, I notice that. I pay attention to that. And what's another one? Raise awareness, raise awareness. Normally, raise awareness, the subject is the teacher wants to raise students' awareness. But pay attention and also another one, notice the subject is the learner themselves. All right? So I try to help my learners raise their awareness and pay attention to this linguistic structure or pay attention to something or notice something. So raise awareness means, oh, I know this. All right? But you know and you notice, are they equivalent? No. Teacher can only help students raise awareness. All right? And they can say, oh, you should notice this. But not until the learner themselves, they consciously pay attention. Then we say, oh, the learner noticed this part. 绕口令. Yeah, but they are different. So notice the gap between their own production and the target. This is a good exercise, all right? Notice the gap between their production and the target. Target what? Target language. So for example, like in this paper, it talks about gloss, DICOGLOSS, dictogloss. It's an exercise, all right? Which is teacher, all right, teacher just, I lead you to read a text. And later on, you are going to form groups and compose the text. First, you listen, and then later you compose them together. It's a kind of exercise. This kind of exercise will actually help learners notice, all right, notice the language. And because they are going to produce the text later, so they are going to see the gaps between their own writing, group writing, and also the target language. This is an exercise to raise students' awareness and make them notice. Because if I don't notice, I have to compose that later. So first step, you listen. Second step, you write as a group. This is a very good exercise. I have practiced it in general English class, and I think it's useful, all right? Because students, they will get nervous, but they will pay attention because they are going to produce. But you need to inform them. It's not just dictation. They also have to write that down as a group. Of course, you can do it as an individual, all right? Speedy passage through developmental sequence. What is speedy passage? That means speed up the development sequence. Form focus actually can speed up the development sequence. The fifth one, maybe you will have some problem. What is destabilize? Stabilize fossilized form, but why do you need to destabilize? If fossilized form is stabilized, what does that mean? You fossilize. That means you stop here. Do you still remember U-shape? All right, in the beginning, you are here. Oh, I know this rule. And then you produce some wrong form. You haven't achieved the target-like form. But then you stop here. You fossilize here. Stabilize at this point. If you raise their awareness and focus on form, it will help them destabilize. That means they won't stop here. They might be able to move again. So that means they'll make more improvement. Maybe. But at least not stabilize. Stop there. And in educational setting or social experiment, a lot of time, especially for education, we always look for the long-term accuracy or long-term attainment. What is long-term accuracy or attainment? Ultimate level of attainment. What is attainment? All right, right now you're at B2 level, right? I want to see 1 year later whether you are still at B2 level. That's attainment. Whether you keep the same level or you slide back. From near native like and slide back. So that's attainment. That's attainment. It's very possible if you don't speak English after graduating from our department for 10 years later,